Anna had always loved the old house at the end of Maple Street. Her grandparents' estate, a Victorian mansion with creaking floors and dusty antiques, had been a magical place for her as a child. After her grandmother's passing, the house had been left to her, and she decided to move in, seeking a change from her busy city life. One evening, while exploring the attic, Anna stumbled upon a large, ornate trunk. It was covered in a thick layer of dust, but the intricate carvings and brass locks suggested it was something special. She managed to pry it open and found it filled with old letters, photographs, and a series of handwritten journals. Intrigued, she pulled out a journal and began to read. The journal belonged to her great-grandmother, Evelyn. It detailed mundane aspects of daily life until Anna came across a disturbing entry dated August 28, 1945. "Today I heard the voices again. They seem to be coming from the cellar. The children don't believe me. I fear the house has become haunted." The entry was signed off with a desperate plea. "Someone, please help us." Anna dismissed the journal's claims as a product of an overactive imagination, but the words left a lingering unease. Strange occurrences began to unsettle her, whispers in the night, flickering lights, and shadows that seemed to move on their own. One night, the whispers grew louder. Anna, unable to sleep, ventured downstairs to the cellar. The heavy door creaked open, revealing a dark and musty space. She fumbled for the light switch, and when the bulb flickered to life, she saw something that took her breath away. A crude drawing on the wall, depicting a man with hollow eyes and a gaping mouth. Anna's heart raced. As she turned to leave, she heard a sound behind her, a soft, echoing cry. She spun around, but the cellar was empty. Her mind raced with thoughts of what Evelyn's journal had said. The following days were filled with mounting terror. Anna could no longer sleep, her nerves frayed by the constant whispers and shadowy figures that seemed to appear at the edges of her vision. She tried to rationalize it, attributing the disturbances to old pipes or the house settling. But the journal's words haunted her, and she began to fear for her sanity. Determined to understand, Anna spent days researching the history of the house and its previous occupants. She discovered that Evelyn's family had suffered a series of tragic events, disappearances, madness, and untimely deaths. The most chilling discovery was that Evelyn had vanished without a trace shortly after her last journal entry, leaving only the cryptic warning. On the night of August 28th, Anna could no longer ignore the growing sense of dread. The house was unnervingly silent, and she felt as though something was watching her every move. Desperate, she decided to confront whatever haunted her family. She descended into the cellar one last time. The oppressive darkness seemed to close in around her, and the air grew colder with each step. At the center of the room, she saw an old, rotting chair, its leather straps long since decayed. The whispers returned, more insistent than ever. Suddenly, the lights flickered out, plunging the cellar into pitch black. Panic set in as Anna fumbled for her flashlight. When she finally managed to turn it on, she was horrified to see the figure of a man standing before her, his eyes hollow and his mouth agape in a silent scream. Anna turned to flee, but the cellar door slammed shut. Her heart pounded as she realized she was trapped. The man's figure began to move toward her, and the whispers grew louder, merging into a cacophony of anguish and rage. She backed into a corner, her mind racing with thoughts of escape. In her terror, she grabbed the journal from her bag and began reading aloud, hoping to find some way to appease the restless spirit. But the words only seemed to make things worse. The man's hollow eyes locked onto hers, and the room filled with an overwhelming sense of despair. The house was eerily silent. Neighbors grew concerned when Anna didn't answer their calls. When they finally broke into the cellar, they found it empty, except for the journal lying open on the rotting chair. The last entry was scrawled in frantic handwriting, "I can't escape. The voices, they're pulling me in." Anna was never found. The house remained abandoned, its history a dark secret buried within its walls. The journal was left behind, a chilling reminder of the torment that had plagued Evelyn's family. Years later, when the house was finally torn down, construction workers found the hidden remains of an old trapdoor in the cellar, leading to a small forgotten chamber. Inside, they discovered a faded photograph of Anna, a tragic testament to the house's dark legacy. The whispers that once plagued Anna's nights were now a permanent part of the house's tragic history, echoing the fate of those who had come before her.